Hello friends! People tend to dream about the future and imagine a happy life, but unfortunately the reality is often different from our own plans. And while many rave about expensive cars and handbags, some just want to live. After all, it sometimes happens that no one can help a person, unless of course a real miracle happens. And today I will tell you a story that won over the hearts of millions of people, because what a man named Chris did not only surprised the public, but also made people reevaluate their lives. I'm sure you'll love this story. A man named Chris Dempsey met Heather Kruger in 2015. When they had their first conversation, the woman already had stage 4 liver disease and had been ill for 2 years. If I'd seen this beauty earlier, I would have definitely asked myself, damn it, she's beautiful. What could be wrong in her life? But the truth was that I already knew that Heather had only about 2 months left to live. And if she didn't get a liver transplant, if the right donor wasn't found, then she would pass away in just 2 months. The odds of her surviving were 50-50, but they were getting worse with each passing day. Heather's family was doing their best to save the woman's life, but finding the right donor wasn't an easy task. There were 119,000 people on the transplant list, and all any one of them could do was hope for a miracle. Heather had always been happy and cheerful, and therefore, even after learning of such a terrible diagnosis, she didn't give up and continued to bring bright light into the lives of her loved ones. But when the doctors said that she didn't have much time left, her life lost all meaning. Friends and relatives were getting ready for the worst, because even despite the advanced medicine and all the modern technologies, doctors simply shrugged their shoulders and prepared the relatives for the inevitable. Truth be told, everything would have probably ended exactly as the doctors said, if it weren't for a sudden twist that happened in our story one day. For Chris, it was the most ordinary working day, which didn't portend anything unusual, until he accidentally overheard his colleague's conversation about his cousin, who needed a transplant. However, while all the other colleagues sympathized with the situation, the man started thinking, I remember that I caught myself thinking, what if someone in my family was in such a situation? Would I like to find someone who could help? And the answer was unequivocal. Of course I would. Thus, the man didn't just feign concern for the situation, but took the opportunity to find out more information about the condition of his colleague's cousin. Soon, Chris had already gone through all the necessary tests and examinations and was shocked to learn that he could be the donor for Heather. However, the most shocking part was that he would become a donor for a woman who he had never seen in his life. The couple first met in February 2015, just to get to know each other a little. However, neither one of them could have even imagined at the time that that meeting would soon change their lives. The guys immediately realized that they understood each other perfectly, and they even went on a couple of dates. And when the time for the transplant surgery came, the young people weren't just spending a lot of time together, but actually had become friends. Actually, the two of them have become so close that when the moment of truth came, Heather even offered Chris to abandon this idea. She was worried about him, about the possibility of complications, but the man was firm in his decision to go through with the transplant. Of course, I was nervous. After all, any number of things could go wrong. But still, there was no way I would change my mind. 10 days before her 26th birthday, Heather went into surgery and Chris lay in bed next to hers. Jumping ahead, I want to say that the surgery went well and there were no complications. And soon, they both began their new lives. Even though Heather's life was saved and she was single, Chris didn't even want to ask for anything, so it wouldn't feel like Heather had to pay him back. He saved her life simply because he could. And this could have been the end of this story, but as you probably guessed already, this story isn't that simple. After the successful transplant surgery, the woman realized that she couldn't lose touch with the person who actually gave her a chance to survive. At the very beginning, he told me that I didn't owe him anything, and that after the surgery, we didn't have to see each other ever again if I didn't want to. I think he meant that there was some kind of connection between us, but he thought that I only felt it because of the illness. But after the transplant, I realized that it really wasn't so. Chris and Heather went back to living their old lives. The man went to work, and Heather was dealing with her stuff, but they still maintained a friendly relationship. However, at some point, they both realized that the friendship had grown into something bigger. You know that butterflies feeling you get in your stomach, and you can't stop thinking about that one person. This is exactly what happened to the couple. They started seeing each other even more often, and at one point, they realized that they were in love. Thus, 8 months after the surgery, Chris proposed to Heather, and of course, she said yes. A few months later, the couple got married. It was a very emotional and touching moment, especially for the parents and Heather, because they knew what we had to go through together. But personally, I didn't even think that I could ever marry this beautiful woman when I first decided to save her life and agreed to a liver transplant. And if I hadn't made this decision then, I'm afraid to even imagine what my life would be now without her. You are the most incredible person I have ever met. You believe in me and make me happy every day. You make me laugh and smile, and thanks to you, I even dare to dream again. Heather turned to her fiancé on their wedding day. None of the guests could hold back their tears after hearing the bride's words. On the day of their 2-year anniversary, Heather wrote on Facebook, "Congratulations to this wonderful person on our 2-year anniversary. I love telling our story, but most of all, I love cuddling with you on the couch and knowing that meeting this person is the best thing that ever happened in my life." By the way, the couple is still together. They are happy, and their photos are the best proof of that. I think it's pretty clear that none of this would have ever happened, and even Heather wouldn't be alive anymore if Chris hadn't made the most important decision of his life one day. One day, he decided to show incredible kindness for a stranger, and this decision changed both of their lives forever. Just love each other and be kinder, because no one knows what awaits each of us around the corner and when fate might surprise us. Well, that's probably enough for today. Let us know in the comments how you feel about what this man did, and rate the video if you liked it. See you soon.